Come on, girls. Time to move. Go ahead, Rosie. Show them the way. Here's Rosie, her big mama. Auntie Cow. Buddy, who is Rosie's bull calf that we steered a while ago. And then 2060, we don't never named her. Never even named her. It's time to move. Good girls. You look great. Buddy's getting big. They look great. So this is what we're seeing. It's a good sign. I know for those of you back home, they're like, that's kind of gross, but it's actually a really good sign. Those puddle poops are perfect fertilizer. Means our cows are healthy. Ooh. It's hard to do this one-handed. So we just have zip ties that we hook to. And then put our water underneath so that we don't have to refill both of them each day. So we're going to refill that one. They'll go into there tomorrow. This is just from today, so that will be full. They'll get that one and this one. And this is what they had today. And Sean's going to go move the mineral, but they look great. You look good, 2060. We gotta find a name for you. If you give us a baby, you get a name. She's a good girl. Can you say hi? Yeah, you say hi. They're good cows. So this is our area that we'd really like to fertilize and rebuild, and we had probably our poorest pasture out here, but you can see that they are doing very well on it. I don't know if you can tell because of the sunlight, the difference in the length of grass that they make in one day, but they do such a great job fertilizing, like every few feet. And then we just kind of come through at the end of the day and count and make sure that they are getting enough nutrition. And this is our way that we move our mineral. We have loose mineral that we leave out there with them. And we just use a, what do you call that, Sean? Not a hand truck, a what? Just a blinking on the name of it, but you know that you use to move furniture. And we just pop it on there and move over their mineral. And right now I think they have like an all-purpose mineral, and then they also have some salt, Redmond salt in there. And usually we try to put in kelp too, but I think we're out right now. So, and they're doing great. Hi, Auntie. Call her Auntie Cow because she's kind of like protective of everybody else. All the babies. So you'd think Buddy was her baby, the way she's protective of him. So we just, I don't know, we started calling her Auntie because we pretend she's babysitting, and she watches out for all of them. And then Rosie is a great mama. She's a 50% South Pole cow, but she's such a wonderful, proven mom, and just she gave us a really great calf, and we'll see what she gives us this year. We're hoping everybody's bred. And our sheep got ahead of them. So you can see, like, okay, this was an area when they were out during one of our big storms the last time. They haven't been out here since we got that bad storm, right?
What?
When was the last time they were out here? When we got that storm in the winter. So we rolled out hay and kind of moved them past here, but they didn't use all of it. So we've just kind of seeded this all, and it's making some good soil for us. And we hope that, you know, maybe by the fall it'll have grown back. Most of the areas we rolled out hay didn't have this big of a patch left, but we must have moved them off here quickly for some reason. And then the dogs are down here watching over the sheep. The sheep kind of got ahead of our cows, so the sheep have already grazed this end space a few days ago. They grazed it down. Hi, Bosco. Hi, Maisie. I don't want you to touch the fence and get a good zap if you touch it. I know. Hello. Hello. Oh, no touch. Poor thing. Did you get zapped? It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. Back up. Sit. I know, they're excited. They want me to come in and play with them. You okay? You're all right. And so we just use this electric charger on the fences, and it's actually charging this fence, and the sheep fence is connected to it. So we actually have 4 running off of that one charger, which we don't usually do. And the reason the dogs are not in with the sheep is because although Bosco was raised around sheep and will probably do great, he's still a baby, and so he's in that training period. And Maisie is wonderful, but she's never been through like a lambing period. So we really want to give them plenty of time where they're getting used to each other. And we're learning too how to introduce everybody. So we don't want to leave them out where we can't supervise them. And so we probably will wait until they're closer to the house and that everybody can be really very well supervised before we keep them in with each other permanently. And they're able to keep the coyotes and stuff away just by being this close. Hey there. This is Rooster, Clara's sheep, and we checked the sheep the other day. I sat, and they don't get grain except very rarely, and so when they do, they're all excited. So I kind of brought out a chair. I don't know if you can see this, but she is starting. Let me see. The light might not be good, but what you can't see is that she's starting to bag up and develop an udder. And a bunch of them are, some more than others. This will be their first lambing. So you did a good job. I can't wait to see what comes out of you. Yeah, good job, bud. You're doing good. And I was able to check them all and check their inner eyelid. What you want to see is really dark pink, almost red skin on the inner eyelid, to show that there's no anemia, no signs of a heavy parasite load, because if they had a parasite load, you wouldn't see that. It would start to get like pale pink, like pink and then pale pink, and white is really deadly. And so they all looked wonderful. They just look great. They are starting to back up. Hey, Scooter, are you gonna let me show? Can I show them your eye? Will you let me? No, because I can't do it one-handed. I don't want to get zapped and then zap you. Oh, this she won't let me one-handed. But basically you pull down their bottom eyelid when you've kind of got a hold of them. So their collars are very helpful for that for me. They'll just let me hold them by the collar and sit out here with them and check them out. You're not going to let me. And even you looked great too. He's, taken a while to get used to me. And I'd say these two are really our friendliest, but she's pretty friendly. Certain ones are more friendly than others. They're shedding off all of this wool because they're hair sheep, so we don't have to shear them, but they kind of look pretty messy right now. So they will see how she's losing this like a jacket. They'll rub all that off and it'll just kind of come off on its own. Sometimes they won't lose it completely like on their back, but they've all been doing really well. Everybody, when I check them, they look healthy. They look like they're moving right along. And so we would expect our first lambs to show up. If he bred them right away, if we were right with our calculations and they were in heat when we thought they were, and he bred them right away, then they will be due to start giving us lambs right around Sean's birthday. So right around Mother's Day, we should start seeing babies. Can I see you? No, you're not going to let me. Come here. I would have Sean help me, but he's moving fences right now. So anyhow, they've all been checked recently and they all look great. There's something called, I remember when I went to a workshop and we had just gotten sheep and we were just sort of starting everything because we're still newbies. But I really had no idea what the heck they were talking about. They would talk about the FAMACHA score, FAMACHA. And I was so embarrassed that I had no idea what they were talking about. I'm like, what the heck is a FAMACHA score? And I didn't know anything about it. And evidently it's like this way of scoring by color, almost the way you'd see like a pH test, that gives you like a color to look at. And if their inner eyelid is a certain color, you can tell sort of how bad the parasite load is with them. And they are doing wonderful. So you want to see that nice, really bright pink, dark red inner eyelid, the bottom eyelid. So you pull the eyelid down and you're looking at the inside on the bottom. The redder it is, the better. And we were able to kind of check their hooves, see how they're doing, because they don't receive grain. And from all that I hear, sometimes it's the breed, but the more grain you give them, the longer their hooves grow and the more you end up with having to trim their hooves more frequently. So I would say everybody looks great except for one of the white ones could use a hoof trimming. And then I think at least one of the other ones could maybe use a hoof trimming, but nobody's really terrible. Like they all look pretty good. And they're all doing good. So I'm eager to see what they're going to look like when they lose all their wool, and what their babies come out like, because they kind of had a lot of color, but interestingly enough, they came out of a bunch of sheep that looked like them. These white ones, basically all of the mothers were white, and I think the father was too. So I don't know how they ended up like this, but they did. And And then this guy, so they're all Katahdin Dorper. And then he is Katahdin Florida Cracker. He might have some St. Croix down the line, but mainly Katahdin Florida Cracker. And they are, he's a lot younger than them. He's probably about 5 or 6 months younger, thus the size. He's catching up to them though. And they are the people we got him from. Not only did I like that they're polled, so we don't have any horns, but so polled means no horns. But I liked that they were really bred to be very hardy sheep who do really well in extreme temperatures, including the heat. And the cold. They've done really well in the cold. They are known for their parasite resistance as well. So they don't do any worming on their herd. And he's generations into that. And so checking him the other day, he looks great. And then they never have to trim their hooves, and they don't give them any grain either. So they just do really well on pasture, including fescue, which sometimes can give animals some issues if that's all you have. And so we were looking for a ram that brought all those good characteristics into our herd and also gave a ram with just like a good carcass. The St. Croix that are sort of known for the parasite resistance, they, from what I heard, are great, but they sometimes will give like a bit of a bonier carcass. So if you're raising them for meat, I liked that this offered us another option. So we might do a St. Croix in the future, but for right now, he's great. And if they lamb right when we thought they were, and he's bringing that great fertility into this herd, we will let him breed them again and keep him for at least one more breeding season. And then we probably won't breed him down to his daughters. We'll get another to get some more genetics in here. But I'll be really encouraged by that to see what he turns out. I was very happy that the people we got him from were practicing the same things that we were trying to. And the girls have been doing really great. Are you doing great? Yes, Scooter. They also seem to be doing very well with this whole electric netting fence. Seems to be keeping them in a lot better than the polywire lines were. And so they've come all the way from down there to here. How long do you think we've been using the netting fence?
About a month.
About a month. Okay. Can you do me a favor? I kind of wanted to show them what it looks like when I check their inner eyelid. Can you just kind of aim this so that if Scooter lets me get a hold of her, I can check it and show them? Scooter, I don't want to get zapped and zap you though. Come here. Can I show them? All right, so let's see. So she's actually, I don't know if you can see. Can you see that at all in the sun? Sorry, Scooter. I know, while you're eating, right? I gotta do this while you're eating. She's making...
No, it's not working.
No? All right, let me try this one. She might be easier. Sorry. Sorry, I don't want to get zapped though, and then pass that on to you. Let's take a look at you. See how you are. So see... All right, hold on. It's a lot harder to do it over an electric fence. I don't know if she's gonna let me. She's a lot darker inside than it's maybe looking on the camera. I'm sorry. So I don't know if she's really gonna let me show you. I would say that she's even darker than she normally, than that's even showing. And some of the other ones are even better. He's great. So that was not super effective. So when you're coming out to check your sheep, one of the things you want to look at is you know, if you can get a hold of them, look at their inner eyelids. It's a lot easier when you're standing next to them. You can put their head, kind of hold on to their head better. Check their feet, check their back end, lift their tail and see. Let me see if one of the white ones will kind of show me if there's any signs of like diarrhea or like a mucky tail or anything like that. And so you want to see like pink and just like healthy. If they go to the bathroom, go and check their manure and make sure that you don't observe any parasites in them. You want to, it almost will look like rabbit poop. Let me see, like this. And you don't want to see like little white worms or anything like that. So you just kind of, you can see a lot just by their posture. Are their ears up? Do they look, you know, alert, perky? Are they all together? Do they separate themselves from the herd and kind of go off by themselves? And, you know, are they eating? Are they not eating? Just observe their behavior. They can tell you a lot just by that. And so we still have a lot to learn. You know, just what you wanted to see, right? We still have a lot to learn, but we've learned a lot this past year, and those were things that we did not know to keep an eye out for. And the first day that we got our lambs, one of our little lambs died, and we realized it was just a she had parasite issue, and the moving process of going from one farm to another farm was probably just too stressful for her. It was very hot. It happened to be in the middle of like a major heat wave that we were having in June, and it was like over 100 degrees or around 100 degrees, and it just was a little too much for her. So we learned a lot from the first day, and we of course have a lot more to learn, but just those are some things that we've learned along the way as well. So that's it. Hope everybody is doing well, and I'll update you as we go along, especially when we get babies. Like, subscribe, and share to Fullen Family Farm, and follow our story of a family of 8 that moved cross country from New England, from southeastern Massachusetts to the Missouri Ozarks with our family of 8, 6 little kids, and started a farm with like no experience. So we came from the city, and
What an adventure.
yeah. How are you liking it?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it without Sean. He's a man of few words, but he is the backbone of everything that we do here. It's good life, huh, right, babe?